Now we want to remove the old throttle body gasket. You can usually set a knife in there and just gently start peeling it off, and it'll come off pretty much in one piece. At least that's the hope, so we don't have to scrape. Now we wipe the oil off. Both parts. Take the new gasket. Set it correctly in place. And I generally put 2 bolts in to hold the gasket in place. Roll it into position and start tightening the bolts. The 2 top bolts will keep the gasket and the throttle body lined up to the other holes, so they're easy to start down here at the bottom. Snug them all down a little bit. Make sure they're tightened up evenly. And then put the final tightening on. Alright, now that we got that back together, we can go ahead and take this old TPS off and connect the new one up. We could have done that earlier, but I just didn't feel like it. Snap it into place, tuck it down out the way a little bit. You can put the idle air control valve up. Snap our throttle linkage back in place, and I put a little bit of grease on there because it looked like it was awful dry. Save the man some trouble down the way. Now we have this bracket to put back on. That's back in place. Put the hose back on. Get that back on that side. Plug that back in. Tuck the wires away from the EGR valve so they don't melt. Get our wires back out so we can test them, confirm everything's good. All right, now we're retesting the circuit, and we have 0.879 volts, which is just about perfect for an idle situation. And let's see if I can hold this in place and move the throttle up, and it should slowly increase. My meter's going to reset at about 2.5 volts. If I remember right. Yeah, see, it does that. It just changes the scale automatically. And then it goes to 453 at wide open throttle, which is what it's supposed to do. Snap it back, and it's back to the idle voltage. This thing should be fixed. We just got to finish putting everything on, and we'll be done. We'll crank it up in a minute. Okay, we're going to try to get these hoses stuck back on. That end. And this end. Snug the screws up. Now we're putting this throttle linkage cover back on. And I believe we're just about done. Alright, it's cranking up and running just fine. Idle down good. Just got a real noisy belt. I guess we need to talk to the customer about that. If you move around to the inside, you can see the tachometer is showing about 900 RPM or so, which is about right for motors just cranked up cold. Okay, you see the tachometer, we've been running for about a minute or so now, and it's slowly starting to come down. It's sitting right there about 750 or so, which is about what you want it to do. Started at about 1600 RPM, settled down to about 1000, and as it's warmed up, it's come down to where it is now. And settling somewhere between 750 is right. So this one's fixed. All I got to do is finish getting all my tools off, writing the ticket up, and ask him if he wants a belt.